All right, so I've prepared this Express.js application so we can learn the caveats of Elastic Beanstalk. And I even have the instructions here. If you didn't want to just use this pre-made one and you want to go the extra effort to make your own, I do have the instructions here, omitting how to install Node.js. You'll have to figure that out for yourself. But just using this application here, we're going to go ahead and you could either download the zip or clone it. I'm going to clone it because that's the way I like to do it. And we'll go over to our terminal here. And I'm just going to clone that to my desktop. Okay. And it won't take long to here. And there we go. We have it cloned. We'll go inside of it. I'm just going to open up the folder here so you can get an idea of the contents of this Express.js application. So with most applications, we just want to make sure that it runs before we upload it here. So I'm going to do npm install. Okay, that's going to install all the dependencies. You just saw a node modules directory created. And I'm just going to run my application. I have a nice little script here to do that. It's going to start on localhost. And here's our application. So it's a very simple application. It references a very popular episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation. And so we're going to go back and just kill our application here. And now we're going to start preparing this application for Elastic Beanstalk. So when you have an Elastic Beanstalk application, it needs to know how to actually run this application, okay? And the way it's going to go ahead and do that is through a hidden directory with a couple of hidden files. So if you scroll down to my example here, I'm going to tell you that you need to create a hidden folder called .eb extensions, and inside that folder is going to contain different types of configuration files, and it's going to tell Elastic Beanstalk how to run this application. So for Node.js, we want it to execute the npm start command, which is going to start up the server to run this application. We also need it to serve static files, so we have another configuration file in here to serve those static files. Now, this .eb extensions is actually already part of the repository, so you don't have to go ahead and create them. But a very common mistake that people have with Elastic Beanstalk is they fail to upload that hidden folder because they simply don't see it, okay? So if you are on a Mac here, you could hit Control-Shift period, which is going to show those hidden folders. For Windows and Unix, you're going to have to figure that out for yourself here. But just be aware that you need to include this folder for packaging, all right? So now we know that our application runs and we can see all the files we need. We're going to go ahead and package it. So I'm going to grab what we need here. We don't need the docs. That's just something that I added here just to get that nice graphic in there for you. And I believe that's all we need. We could exclude the README. We're going to exclude the .git directory because sometimes they contain sensitive credentials. But the most important thing is this .eb extension. So I'm going to go ahead here and zip this into an archive. Okay, and so now I have that ready to upload, okay? And just one more caveat here is that you saw me do an npm install to install the dependencies for this application. Well, how is Elastic Beanstalk going to do that, okay? So it actually does it automatically. And this is pretty much for most environments. So if it's like going to be a Ruby application, it's going to do bundle install. And if you have requirements in your Django application, it's going to do it. But for Elastic Beanstalk, for Node.js, it's going to automatically run npm install for you, okay? So you don't have to worry about that. But anyway, we've prepared the archive, and so now we can proceed to actually uploading this archive into Elastic Beanstalk.